Hi, I'm Chris Bradshaw. I've lived in Ottawa for over 40 years, and for the last almost 20 years, my wife and I have lived without an automobile, and we make use of all the different modes available to us, and I've actually spent most of my spare time in the last almost 30 years championing specifically walking. Cyclists have plenty of people out there doing their bidding, but we live, my wife and I, with a bike and a number of shopping carts, and we each have a Presto card. One of them has a monthly pass on it, the other one has the cash, and we can mix and match for almost any kind of trip. We have grandkids in the city, and we go by bus to see them sometimes. Usually they're being brought by their car-bound parents to see us, and it's wonderful to become reacquainted with the neighborhood through the eyes of a child. We often say that a neighborhood works well when it's walkable, and it has to be a place that people who live there care about and enjoy being out on the streets. And it's best to see the challenges of walkability from the eyes of an older person and eyes of very young people. The old program 880 Communities is a group that I'm interested in, because they're talking about the city doesn't work if it doesn't work for the people 8 and under or 80 and over. And I think that's an important message. In any case, I've been involved with walking first in the 80s with the city, and we had a group that was promoting walking environment in the Rideau Area Project, which is just celebrating right across the canal here. It's over 30 years, about the same time as the transit wave was developed, which is another great aid for transportation. And we had a pedestrian reference group, and then we started a group called Ottawa, as in ought to walk, and Ottawa. In 1988, we actually have, when we closed the group down in the year 2000, we have a bench here, commemorative bench, that we spend the last money in our bank account and bought a bench that the City Hall here didn't have on the south side of the building on Lisgar Street. And Ottawa held regular walks most Sundays of the year. We advocated for walking. We got the City of Ottawa to promise to do a pedestrian plan, which they never got around to until long after amalgamation, and it's now in existence. We're very happy with that. We also promoted a series of positions on a broad range of topics that affected federal, especially provincial government and city government, that had never been talked about. And we were recognized, partly because we had a newsletter that went all across North America, in 2000 by a national group in the States called America Walks, as the fathers of pedestrian advocacy in North America. So this is something that I think is a special heritage of Ottawa, and which two groups here in Ottawa are trying to live up to. One is the group Walk Ottawa, almost the same name as the one we had, which is a association for all of the pedestrians. They have a regular steering committee, and they've been around for just over 2 years. We also have a group that's formed about the same time. It's a subcommittee of the Ottawa Seniors Transportation Committee, which is part of the Council on Aging, and that is the Pedestrian Safety Committee. And there's several other subcommittees at this committee which deal with overlap a little bit with the walking environment as well. Another thing that I get involved in is to support Jane's Walks. Jane's Walks occurs in the first full weekend of May each year, and is a series of almost 100 different community people who know and love their own neighborhoods or parts of town, talk about the heritage, and talk about the planning of it, and talk about the natural environment of that particular area. And they give a walk that they lead for an hour to an hour and a half, and it's a marvelous experience to learn about. So go to Jane's Walk or just Google it, and you'll find more information about that particular thing. So other than that, just to talk a little bit about using walking as an important part of your life. We forget sometimes that walking is the most popular exercise that people choose to do, and then yet they always say, well, I don't do enough of it because maybe it isn't safe enough, or because I don't have enough time. But walking often saves you time, because you are saving on going the wrong way in order to avoid one-way streets, or cutting around this way or that way, when you can walk a much more direct route as a pedestrian. I know people that get off the bus, transfer for a ride that takes them the last 2 minutes, and they wait 10 minutes for the bus. Heavens, they could have walked that in 5 minutes and gotten themselves some more exercise. It means taking the stairs when you're in a building, both up and down, in order to get that chance for physical exercise. I go crazy when we go on a vacation and I can't get out and do my walking or cycling enough each day, because just that level of physical activity you actually miss as soon as you don't have it. It's also important with walking to dress accordingly, to carry the right bags. Good shoulder bag will take the weight off you, or shoulder back instead of carrying it in your hands, which means that it bumps into your legs. A small umbrella can also save you on those days you forget to check the weather. Taking some sunscreen with you, making sure that you have comfortable shoes, and that the little thing like a cell phone. A lot of people say, well, I don't carry a cell phone, they're too expensive. Well, my wife and I each have one that costs us $100 a year for all our airtime, and my wife doesn't even use that, so she saves it up year to year, and so we switch phone numbers every couple of years, because I use it at a little bit faster rate. And that always gives you something in emergency. It allows you some access to other information that you need as well. So that's all part of being prepared. So anyway, those are the kinds of things I think you should keep in mind. Walking is great. You're missing an awful lot if you don't do it, and I certainly believe in it.